Week 2 of playoff racing here for the Prestige Cup Series as we say hello from the virtual Darlington Raceway once again here for week 11, week 12 of the Prestige Cup Series here from the Darlington Raceway. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, lead commentator, lead producer for tonight's race here for the second week of the playoffs here at Darlington Raceway. And man, what a place to start off week 2. Obviously, a pretty chaotic start of the playoffs here. We went last week to Atlanta or Echo Park Speedway and ended that race in a photo finish where Wyatt Thompson nearly eked out his teammate in Kendorian Davis there for the win. And then we come here to the track too tough to tame. The lady in black herself, Darlington Raceway, and you come from such a chaotic race here to the polar opposite here, where here at Darlington, it's most likely going to be almost kind of like an endurance race, right? You have to keep the car clean, you have to keep the car on the track, and we're not saying you can't hit the wall a couple of times. These Cup cars are pretty tough, and with these composite bodies, I think the only thing these drivers have to worry about this race is those toe links, those that are so fragile in these next gen machines that can just pop just like that, right? So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see as we get ready to come down the trackside here. Just under 8.5 minutes left in practice as we try to look and see some of the drivers to look for tonight here in the and the PRS Cup Series tonight, coming here from Darlington. Drivers out on track now. The Hisense machine. Max Ford, he's sitting there back there in P4. Tyler Helms top of the board, which is funny because before I got into the practice session tonight, before I started the broadcast, I had the chat up, and Tyler was not happy with his car, and getting into a little bit of an altercation with some of the other drivers on track, saying that like, hey, it's a set, you gotta have to learn to race with it, so on and so forth. But we'll go back here and look at this number 11 machine of Max Ford. Obviously, we're back here at Talladega, Darlington. Throwback weekend here for the PRS Cup Series, and Max was very nice enough to throw us up a graphic to see what he's throwing it back to. So we'll go ahead and get the zoom cam here. This Hisense machine throwing it back to Buckshot Berry here in this number 00 machine, Hisense car. So cool to see that. Max really went full send here on the paint tonight, and a really slick looking car tonight here coming into Darlington. But this Hisense machine currently P4 on track as we speak. We'll show your fastest lap time up here on the left side of your screen. Taking a look at some other drivers who are looking pretty quick. Colby Duckworth P3 practice with this Matt Kenseth, the Walt throwback. Obviously, Christopher Bell, has ran the Walt in the past. Christopher Bell still runs the Walt now, but Matt Kenseth is synonymous with this brand, obviously winning his first championship here in this iconic black and yellow machine. And that Colby coming out here with a throwback. Obviously, we talked about Tyler Helms. He's in a looks like maybe like a Dale Senior inspired car. Looks like maybe. It looks more like a Carson Hosafar machine, but sure. Karate, classic car, Crash Castration Products machine. For the field here, Jackson Brown. Oh, on camera there. And it's kind of a throwback, right? Back to the old college days. You don't really get to see the filter time car come out a lot anymore. So you think of Justin Haley kind of made this car popularized the Xfinity series back in the day. That was called the O'Reilly series, but maybe that. Carmelo in the Mountain Dew machine. I don't think Chase ever ran this exact car, but obviously it'd be a throwback to Chase Elliott back when in the Gen 6 when he used to be sponsored by Mountain Dew and all that stuff before Mountain Dew pulled out of the sport for a couple of years before they came back with what was it, like a couple of one-off races with College Racing. But yeah, other drives on track. Gabriel Goli is vintage. I believe it's like a Ford Mustang, Ford GT team. Really nice looking car for Gabriel. Main goalie, the Kellogg's, the good old fashioned Kellogg's. This is the Terry Labonte machine. Texas Terry in the 5 machine, but obviously the 15 on Hayden. Obviously very iconic scheme. That really cool to see on the next one. Obviously, I believe Kyle Larson did not use this version of the Kellogg's car, but he did throw it back to Terry in the Kellogg's car. No, I think he did. No, this is a throwback that Kyle did because this is a HendrickCars.com machine. So Jackson Brown, Travis Prather out on track now, and the Tony Stewart throwback. This is Mobile One Bass Pro Shops, the fired machine, and man, this car always looked really good. I always liked this version of the Mobile One cars. So doesn't quite beat the Wings one, but pretty slick looking car. Wyatt Thompson out on track. He's driving a Dale Senior inspired car. With how many wins he has on it season, might as well call him Dale Senior. And borderline dominant the whole season. Road. That driver right there, he's probably going to be running that. Yeah, that same good wrench. It's basically the Austin Dillon machine. He just slaps the 29 on it, and it fits even more, right? But obviously, it was inspired by the up and over down the backstretch. Inspired by Kevin Harvick's, 22 to 20, 02 to 05, I would say. Good wrench machine. Jacob Bryant, did we look at his already? Not yet. Jacob, and this, I believe this is like a Miller throwback potentially. Maybe a, yeah, I'm a little uninformed with a lot of the older stuff here, so maybe a, Rusty Wallace maybe. I think maybe DW ran for Miller. I think I'm not sure. If someone in the chat would happen to know, could inform me. That'd be really nice of them. 57, Joseph Enright with one of those throwbacks of the Heinz cars. I remember seeing these back in the day, back in the 70s. Pretty cool looking scheme. Jack Stanley, he's ran this scheme a couple of times, but the movie's old enough. I guess you could call it a throwback, right? Lightning McQueen, Rusty's machine. I mean, there's schemes that are on the track now that are older, that are newer than than Lightning McQueen, which is insane to say, right? Look back at Peter Hoppy. This was what, Ryan Newman, circa 04, 05 maybe. So, like, if you want to consider this a throwback, the 31 machine, that is a lot newer than Lightning McQueen was. I don't. When was Cars released? Because depending on what scheme this is, this DeWalt scheme might be a little bit newer as well. Newer than the Cars, which is insane to say as well. I was trying to look for a specific car here. 58. Right there. This scheme is definitely newer. Probably the newest throwback we have with the Tony Stewart scene here. So probably a Gen 6 scheme, if I remember right. So yeah, you could technically, all that 95, technically a throwback. I mean, unfortunately, we're that old now that, Lineman McQueen, line vintage. So, you see practice under complete here. We'll get ready to go into qualifying here from Darlington to get your starting lineup here. I'm on a ticker go down and down. We'll start qualifying session real quick right here from Darlington. When we get the opportunity to actually, while we wait on drivers to get on track, go ahead and talk about your points coming into Darlington here. Got a little bit carried away with the ski here, but Wyatt Thompson, Tyler Helms, definitely the two that could probably lock their way in. Good finish tonight. Kendall Davis, Joseph Fenway. I would say even Carmelo, a decent spot there, 10 points above the cutoff. Duckworth, Ford, and Gabriel, still within range to get knocked out here this race if a bad race happens. In the same right, Jackson Brown, Nicholas Road, within striking distance to get themselves inside the top 8 here. The Jackson Brown and Jacob Bryant, Peter Hoppy need a little bit more work to get themselves back in. That's your point standings going into Darlington's. We get ready to look at some of your drivers out on track right now, like Colby Duckworth running his laps here from the 5 minutes for these drivers to set 2 laps. Duckworth currently P2, 8.90, couple hundredths off, and Nicholas Road in the 29 machine. Avery and Hayden Goldie go P3, P4. Oh, is the 33 loose out of the quarter there? And I'm going to give up any time he had here. Pull up fastest laps right now. Only 18 drivers showed up for tonight's race here from Darlington, so. Oh, they're in that outside wall. Like he's gonna park in. He's gonna have to just hope on this last ditch effort. Get him. Good spot in qualifying. Max Ford coming out on track. Go on board with Max and see if he could show us around the track. Feeling go up here, get up against this outside wall as much as they can, and they're going to drop back down. Maybe look at a little bit of the seam up, not getting to the wall there. Pretty decent corner there. Now here in the turn 4, you can kind of experiment. See some guys go up here to the outside wall and then drop down. We'll see some guys just wrap that white dotted line occasionally as well. Across the stripe here to start his first time lap 28.7. That's good enough for your pull. Enough for P2, my apologies. One more lap here for Max Ford, though. He's shifting down here in the 1 and 2. Probably here's some shifting down here in the turning 4 as well. Oh, we're shifting. Across the stripe. Cannot beat that. He does beat the time by 1,000th of a second over Wyatt Thompson. Wow, what a lap by Max Ford. Tyler Helm slots himself inside the top 3. Jacob Bryant out on track. Oh man. I think he should have just enough time, maybe. Nah, it's going to be close. I don't think he's going to have enough time to go back around and send another lap time. No, no way. 25 seconds? Unless there's like that 5-second buffer. Other drivers decided not to set a lap here. If we'll let him set a time. All flags done now. Red flag. Yeah. Fortunate. He was so close. Yet so far. So he will start back there in P15 because he didn't get a lap time set down. And if you don't set a lap time, it just goes based off of rating, I believe. So it's unfortunate. We'll get ready to go green here. Waiting on the drivers getting their virtual machines to get ready to go. 134 laps here from Darlington. Some things to talk about before we get into our starting lineup. We do have a stage on lap 35, 80% fuel, so that's gonna be something to talk about. 80% fuel, 5 sets of tires, 1 fast repair. And I guarantee you, there's gonna be some drivers are gonna have to take advantage of that fast repair throughout the race. This car is not easy now, and we didn't even talk about the new package with the updated horsepower. No diffuser, so less aero on this car to keep this car planted to the ground, but we'll talk about that throughout the race here. But we have most of our cars out on track. Let's go ahead and go trackside. Get your starting lineup here, presented by High Velocity TV. Max Ford on the pole alongside Wyatt Thompson and number 77 machine. Tyler Holmes in the 3 car will be P3 alongside Christian Zarate back there rounding out your fast 4. Nicholas Road in the 29 will be P5 alongside Colby Duckworth rounding out that row 3. Joseph Enright 7th alongside Noreen Davis back to P8 and rounding out the top 10. Gabriel goalie John Brassard and number 78 back there in P11. Hayne goalie JJ Moore technically back there in P12. I don't know if he's going to race tonight or if he's going to race control. We'll just have to see. Travis Prather back there in the 58. Ecavero back there in 81, going to round out that row 7. Jacob Bryant, Peter Hoppy, row 8, and rounding out the field tonight back there in 17 and 18. Jackson Brown, Jack Stanley, number 95 machine. Once again, 134 laps here from the virtual Darlington Raceway. It's gonna be an endurance race. It's gonna be a battle of attrition. Who can make it out alive, right? And who can, come out here without, getting a lot of damage on these virtual machines. Be interesting to see, who's gonna rise to the top here. Who's gonna be the cream of the crop. Take a look at your race weather here for tonight's race here from Darlington Raceway. 70 degrees, 75 track temp, 50% humidity, 7-mile-an-hour wind, partly cloudy for tonight's race as we get ready to go green here from the virtual Darlington Raceway. That's her off on the pace car. Means they'll take the hard left turn down pit road. We'll get ready to go. 134 laps here from Darlington Raceway. The lady in black as we get ready to start week 2 here for the Prestige Cup Series. Off the Barton of the Flagman, and we'll get ready to go green here from Darlington. He complained about the car earlier in the practice, but Tyler Helms will lead your first lap here from Darlington. That's not Tyler Helms, that's Wyatt Thompson. I'm so sorry. I'm so used to Tyler being in that and that you know, number 3 Wrangler throwback. That's Wyatt Thompson. I'm so sorry, but Wyatt Thompson leads your first lap here. As you see a bunch of them hitting the outside wall. Everybody up into the outside wall out of 2 there. Everybody just following pursuit, but Max Ford not letting this 77 get away. Whoa, the 3 really loose out of the quarterback there. Luckily he had enough of a gap to keep that spot, but gotta look out for that for after the rest of the race here. Going back to Tyler Helms, it's a talking point. He was not happy with the set during practice. Having a lot of troubles with it, but up inside the top 3 right now, and he just needs to hang on to it. If I'm Helms, right, you're racing for a championship. You got to just, you know, I know Tyler is really good at just getting the most out of the car at all times. Battle for the race lead. Max Ford trying to make a move on the number 77. Wyatt Thompson, really good defending right there. But Tyler, not having the best time in practice, needs to just keep the car clean. If he's got a top 5 car, then then take 5th. Do not try to get the most out of it and wreck yourself out early in the race. Have to use that faster pair up early. Got to keep it going straight if you're the 3 machine. It's okay if you're not the fastest guy every week. You know, he talks about wanting to continue to string out, you know, these podium finishes. To have, like, I think there's only been maybe 1 or 2 weeks where he hasn't been up inside the top 3. So if I'm this number 3 machine, I'm just gonna focus on that. Try to keep this car in a podium position. You'll see him up in the outside wall out of turn 4. Oh, super loose. That's the 57 in right out of turn 4. Gabriel Gully gonna try to get around him on the top. He will, but Gabriel back up inside the top 8. And we have to talk about now. We'll bring it up every time. We'll go on the nose cam with this number 11 machine. No rear diffuser on the back of these cars. You see the 77 right there? No diffuser back on these cars. New update here, especially here at Darlington. I think this is probably the one track that's been affected the most by the new rules package. Every track under 1.5 miles, that 750 horsepower bump up. Plus, no rear diffuser on the back of these things. So everything under 1.5 miles, NASCAR considered a short track. You know, tracks like Gateway, tracks like Darlington, right? Tracks, you know, some other tracks drive like 1.5 miles, right? Nashville Super Speedway got the short track package, I believe. Even though they traditionally drive like 1.5 miles, they are technically given this short track package, right? So even back before that update came out, Darlington was already pretty tricky to navigate around here in these next-gen machines. Now you have more horsepower. Now you have less aero underneath the car. This makes the track a lot more difficult, and it does put the race into the driver's hands of who can manage the car. Keep the tires underneath them the best, right? And I think this really falls into Wyatt Thompson's hands, right? He's always good at saving his equipment, saving the tires, and that's how he's won a lot of these races, is by just keeping the car out in front. Putting himself in position to win right at the end because he has the better tires. Right, look at Max Ford up at that outside wall. Starting to fade back to the 3 at Tyler Helms. You know, Tyler, you know, he reminds me a lot of Ryan Blaney. He'll complain and he'll be pretty upset about how the car drives, but then he'll get in the car, he'll just lock it in, figure out how to navigate around him, and he'll drive himself up inside the top 2, the top 3 every race. Tyler, that's just a mentality you have to have. Every track you go to, the car is not going to drive how you want it to, right? That's just the way racing is, right? You're going to unload off the trailer sometimes and the car's not going to drive right. It's going to be a little bit too tight. It's going to be a little bit too loose. You know, something's going to happen. Caution waves. That's just something you have to put in the back of your mind. Like Peter Hoppy in the back. having a mistake here in this 83 machine. He's already gotten around here. Oh man, 78 of Brassard. So there's 15 to goalie up in the outside wall. We go back up to the 78 here where we saw that. So the 15 self spins on his own back there on the back stretch. 78 up the track. And it gets dumped by the 58 there, but that's just because he was up the track. And the 83 kind of panics, loses a little bit of talent off of 4. Not a whole lot of damage to that 83 machine, but Hayden goalie, lots of damage back here. We'll go back here and look at what happened to this driver real quick. Man. Huge hit to the inside wall. Go back and look and see what happened. Baker. Striking in the back there. Caution wave here on that 14. Got a good run there. 14 laps, we'll take that. With how difficult these cars are to drive. So, but that stacks everybody else back up here. Thompson, Ford, Helm still your top 3. Christian Zarate up in the top 4. We haven't talked about him a whole lot. Didn't talk about him a whole lot in practice. Because, you know, really, I mean, he's running the same scheme races every other week. So we didn't really get a document, you know, maybe a throwback scheme here for the 99 of Zarate or something like that. So, but sitting here quietly in the P4 position, was running up in the side. Top 3, I believe, and then I think Helms got back around, but yeah, Max Ford really impressed me early this race. He is kind of in a spot where he has to have a good race to put him in the fight, right? I think he's only, what, 4 points above the cutoff. To have a solid race to keep him in the fight. They're going to look at it right now. Max Ford, yeah, forward to the good. So obviously, I think it's good that, I think it's a sigh of relief that he is in the good, in the green. I think he'd really like to have a good point stay here, to maybe bump himself up a couple spots in this playoff standings here. We go down from 12 to 8 here after this round. Just like that, pace car's off once again. It's gonna be the 77 and the 11. Max Ford, Wyatt Thompson, back into the restart zone. We're back green here from Darlington Raceway. Oh, huge contact at the back. That's the 87 of Kenorian Davis. Contact for the P2 position. Here comes Tyler Helms on the bottom. Tyler's going to have to lift there. Get back in line. Cannot go side by side out of 2 there. And you saw Tyler really smart there to back out of it. But with them going side by side, that's allowed Wyatt Thompson get a little bit of a lead. About half a second. 5, 6, 10 second back to P2. Caution. Oh, man. Joseph Enright backwards here out of turn 2. Take a look and see what happened. Oh man, the 81 ran over the 57. That'll do it. Caution will live one more time. And that's a caution I don't think Wyatt Thompson wanted to see. A really good restart. Because really the two, you know, I don't know if you call them teammates, but two friends, and Max and Tyler, racing it out. Wow, the race leader down pit road. I'm wondering if maybe he got faked out by the 11 of Ford. Everybody should easily be able to make it on fuel here. I don't know if that's what the 77 wanted to do. Obviously, he's down pit road now. If I was him, maybe just take fuel. You take 4 fresh Goodyear tires on lap 19. I guess this will be a learning point for all these drivers. Can the 77 drive back through the field? He's qualified on the pole. They qualified P2 actually. But Max Ford got the pole, 1,000th of a second. So, can the 77 drive back through the field? I mean, these are 19 lap pressure tires. I would call them about 15 lap pressure tires with cautions. So with 15 lap pressure tires, can the 77 drive back through the field and we'll make up this track position here before we get to the end of stage 1, which is only, 16. We go back green, maybe 16 to 15 laps to go. So obviously the 77 has a big points cap, so the 77 doesn't necessarily need stage points. Obviously, I think they'd be now, but and Wyatt's only starting back there at P13, so he still has a chance to go up there and get some stage points, but have to see. I just think that was a little bit of trickery at him there. I think Max did what he wanted to. Fake out the 77 enough to where came down pit road where he could stay out and take the race lead away by a pit strategy. So I'll hand the race lead back over to Max Ford. Obviously, he led lap 1 as he was the pole sitter. He'll have a new front row. Max Ford, Tyler Helms, Christian Turati back there. Nicholas Road around that true fast 4. Ready to round the turn 4. Back into the Sunoco restart zone. We're back green from Darlington Raceway. Jumped by the 11. Tyler Helms sleeping a little bit on the start. He's side by side for the P3 position. Turati clears back up for P3. A little blink out of the 99. He'll take that podium spot for now. Nicholas Road stays back there in that P4 position. Oh, wrecking in the back. I don't know if they're going to call that. Prather going around. Caution will wave. I reckon again, the 33 Duckworth up here. It happens up here. $33 at Duckworth. And he just loose off at 4. That was the 58, just kind of driving it in there, getting in the back of the 33. Caution waves once again. With caution, I believe, of the night. What they say, you know, cautions breed cautions. We had a good, what, 14, 15 lap run there. Start the race, but ever since we've gotten these restarts, it's really allowed cautions to continue to build up here. I should go off on the pace car this time by. Continue to tick down the laps here in stage one. This is exactly what Max Ford wants to see. He took the race lead away, and he can continue to just pace around leading laps here. Exactly what he wants to see. We'll be going live with back green with 11 to go. Say hello to everybody up in the watching at home. Hello to Leif Opstead. Everybody over on twitch.tv/Christian Boss 13. Appreciate everybody for coming on. We hope everybody's having a great Thursday night. Again, you'll see this pace car take a hard left turn down pit road. Give it the 11. We'll give it to the 3. Be Max Ford, Tyler Helmsley top front row, and then once again will be Roddy. Nicholas Road back there rounding out your fast 4 once again. And we'll end it back off to Max Ford. We get back ready to go back into the restart zone and back green. Really good jump out of Zarate there in the 99. A little bit of a blink contact between him and the 3. Someone's got to back out of it. Zarate does it wisely. No! They still make contact. Zarate back around in the back. Man. Caution waves one more time. That just looks like I mean, that's the textbook definition of a racing deal, if you ask me here. Going back to the restart. Riding with a really good jump. Links here. Gives it up, and then Tyler Holmes just completely overdrives the corner. And Zarate, you know, gets a run, but can't really do anything about it. Makes contact. Gets ran over in the back. Caution will go around, and we'll take another replay at this. It's just like textbook racing at Darlington. You see the 99 backs out of it. This is what happens here. This is the bad thing that happens right here. Because Christian did the wise thing here, backing out. But the issue is, after Christian backed out, Tyler did not. So he gets up in an outside wall, and even after the 99 backed out of the corner, still faster than the 3 who's trying to keep it off the outside wall. Nowhere to go for the 99. He'll make contact. The 3 kind of keeps it going straight because he has the wall. Him going, and then he's just kind of stopped right in front of the pack here. Gets a big bumper from the 31 here. Down the track he goes, and no, I'm not going to put blame on anybody there. That's just hard racing. And unfortunately, the person who backed out trying to be safe is the one who gets caught up and gets the most damage out of it. Yeah, just unfortunate for the 99 machine. Just like that, new cast of characters up front. Max Ford, Adrian, goalie in the 55 has worked himself up inside this P2 spot. Like some of those drive, it looks like the 3 and the 99 came down pair road here. Girardi, Tyler Holmes going a lap down. Wow. Luckily, stage cautions coming up pretty quickly here. It's going to be new cast of characters. Max Ford, Abraham, goalie, Nicholas Rowe, Jackson Brown with that front end damage. Going to be your fast forwards. We got to go back into the restart zone. We count down the laps here in stage 1 as we're back green here. Max Ford leads us back. Oh, spinning the tires in the back. That's the 77. They're going to be 4 wide back there. And there they go. Caution waves one more time. I have to take a look and see what happened. I think this all kind of started with the 77 spinning his tires here on the start. We'll have to see. Oh, man. It all started with 77 actually had a good jump here. Got in the back of the 31 just a little bit. The 31 spun his tires. And kind of just checked up this whole pack here. You'll see them fan out 4 wide here going into turn 1. The 87 back here in the back. That's the 83, I believe. Peter Hoppy. So there's like 2 separate wrecks. Dorian gets turned somewhere. Might have been the 58 of Prather, actually. So a huge stack up here. 87 tries to back out of it. 51 gets hooked by the 15, grabs the 83. A huge wreck here in the back. Yeah, this is just a huge checkup. I mean, this is everybody just trying to react to their wreck in front and just making contact. Everybody's close quarters here, going into 1 and 2, unfortunately. 87 back out of it. Unfortunately, nowhere to go for a lot of these drivers. The 83 hooked up to the outside wall, hard hit. 83 of Hoppy there. A caution wave once again. Now we're in the ballpark here. Should be going 1 to green this time by start lap 32. We'll be going to green, what, with a 3-lap dash? So guys have to figure out these restarts, so we're going to be doing this all night. I don't think that's how anybody imagined their night to go. So yeah, new cast of characters up here once again. The only constant now has really been this 11, and I probably say this 29. Been up inside the front 4 these last couple of restarts here, and he'll actually take the outside front row. So it's going to be Max Ford, Nicholas Road, goalie, and Jacob Bryan. Remember, Jacob didn't even set a qualifying lap here. Just worked his way, probably via through the cautions a little bit, up inside the front 4. Good run by the 48 machine. Jacob Bryant. He's in a prime spot to get some stage points. His car once again takes a hard left turn down Perry Road. The Toyota Chevy front row. Max Ford back inside the restart zone. Back green here to end stage 1. Caution. Man. Hate to see it. John Brassey potentially had an issue here. Nah, clearly ran over by the 33. I don't know. Well, on board with the 78 here. Maybe he missed the shift. Now I told you everything you need to know. Starting in third, no bueno. I'll bring us under caution once again. Everybody coming down Pit Road. And this should very well end stage 1. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, as we always do here at the end of stage 1. And be back on the other side of this ad break here.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Welcome you back to the virtual Darlington Raceway. Get ready to start stage 2. So something to talk about. Travis Prather, Wyatt Thompson come out of pit road in front. So Travis Prather stayed out here. Means he should technically win this stage. So I'm a little unsure of how that's gonna work. I'm gonna try to message some people here while we're under caution. But from my understanding, he stays out while everybody else pits under that kind of stage caution bullet deal. Okay, I'm being told now by JJ Moore, our race control, that Max gets it. I presume it's just because he had it. Okay. So they did throw the stage caution at the wreck. So it's not, there wasn't like a pit strategy thing of like technically the 58 led lap 35. They threw the stage caution on lap 33, so I presume it's probably within 5 laps of the stage they throw the caution. That will be stage. But with all that said and done, you know, Prather came down. Obviously, probably took some tires. Looks like maybe used the fast repair potentially. Only got, you know, the restart laps on these things. Might as well stay out, right? Take the track position. So it's gonna be a, you know, a couple of, well, a shakeup once again in the starting through here. Now it's gonna be Prather. Wyatt Thompson finds his way back up inside the top 3. Max Ford, Dorian Davis, your fast forward. We get ready to start stage 2. Counting out of turn 3 and 4, the pace car took a hard left turn down Perry Road. Now it's going to be Travis Prather going back inside the Sunoco restart zone. We're back green here to start stage 2. Prather already a bunch of aggressiveness, and Wyatt Thompson goes around. I think for the most part, everybody got it off away from him. So very, very lucky that the 77 looks like no damage to that machine besides maybe the tires. We'll go under caution one more time. Come back at the restart. I think just with a test to the 58 just not being as fast on the restarts as everybody expected them to. Really, the 77 was boxed in here. 11 just barely gets, I mean, 77 could be, if you're going to be technical, could be just a tiny bit higher on the track. You look at where the 58 is. 11 you see right there. To the quarter panel of the 77. Somehow, some way, nobody gets into them. Maybe some incidental contact between the 57 and 77, but whoa. What a heads-up driving by the rest of the field to get around him in a safe manner. Wow. He might have a little bit of, or just getting back into it. I was about to say he might have had a little bit of beef here, but no, just trying to catch back up to where he needed to. But man, I mean, it's been toss and central all race long, ever since that little 14-lap run. Nobody could figure out these restarts. We'll do another, I guess, weather update here to see if maybe the track temp has changed at all. No, it's still 73-degree track temp here from Darlington. So not really a whole lot has changed. The track temp, I think, has even gone down a little bit. So if anything, that should make it a little bit easier for these drivers. So I just think it's just the mindset of you have to make up these spots here on the restarts, and fortunately some people being a little bit too aggressive. I'm not going to call that on the 11 of Max Ford, just because, you know, there was just a slower car up in the front. But P1 to go once again here. Lights off on the pace car. So this time Max Ford will take the P2 position. Travis Prather keeps it for now. Gonna leave some more laps there in that CC Wraps machine. Obviously that Tony Stewart throwback. Technically, your top 5 all running, I think, technically throwback schemes. I'm not sure what if Ken is. This is just the new Lumar scheme that Chase Elliott's running this season. That's what it looks like it could be. Doesn't look like it's a throwback mission. So that's Lumar's primary as a throwback or something. It doesn't look very throwbacky. It looks very modern. It looks very flashy in some ways. So I'm gonna guess that's not. Travis Prather gonna go back in the restart zone. And he'll lead us back to green here, back in the restart zone to start lap 43 here from Darlington. A little bit of a wheel spin out of the 58. Max Ford going to be side by side for the race lead. Go clear. Comes the 29 to road. Outside. Now where does this 58 slide in here? Contact between first and second. Wreck-It in the back. Wyatt Thompson again. Man. Another look. Yeah. Cannot go side by side at it too. '77 makes contact with the 78. Kind of turns himself off the front end of Brassard. I understand, you know, why it needs to be a little bit of aggressive to get back up to the front, but that's not the way to do it. So this is your points leader. The last thing you want to do is just make enemies like that, you know, race it aggressive. 77 comes down back pit side. I think he'll bring the 86, 83. I think that's Hoppy, yeah. Pit side with him. '77 to 83. Probably, yeah. You see a little bit of damage on that right front, so not gonna get a good angle of this, unfortunately. So yeah, probably gonna take some damage here for the 77. Well, we get the opportunity to. Let's go ahead and talk to your Stage 1 winner, Max Ford. Hey, Max, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. I got a copy. Well, obviously, first, congratulations on Stage 1. But obviously, you're coming into tonight's race only 4 points above the cutoff. Obviously, a win would be really, really nice here. You look like you've got probably a top 2, top 3 car. What are you going to be willing to do to get a win tonight to kind of continue your charge to try to go race for a championship later this season?
I mean, I'm always fast week in, week out. I know I pace with Wyatt and Tyler, and honestly, just needed to keep up front, keep track position, and we got that, and as you can see, I'm keeping it. One thing I guess with Wyatt right there, didn't mean to wreck him, but I mean, when you give me no entry, it's like you're kind of paying the price in the middle of the corner because I'm gonna have no turn. But I felt like I held my line. Travis at the wall, he checked up, and it was just a racing incident. But right now, I think Wyatt's P17, Tyler's P10, so I have a really good point stay coming up. If I can keep first, no speeding penalties, all that.
I definitely agree. Looking really racy tonight there. Now, throwback machine, but getting ready to go green. Yeah, thank you for your time, and we wish you good luck the rest of the race.
Yep, thank you.
So, the number 11, Wayne Harris, the race lead here. Your pole sitter for tonight's race. You'll see the 29 of Nicholas Road back there on that outside. Right through. Keeps that P3 position right now, but then the lane's back over the number 11 machine. Max Ford, Nicholas Road, back in the restart zone, and back green from Darlington. Another decent jump out of the 11. 58, a good jump as well. They try to stay side by side with the 29. Issue is there's not really any place for him to back out if he wants to. 29 up in the outside wall. So was the 81. As they're trying to wreck in the back. Holy, really loose is, oh, he's, I don't know if they're going to call that. He's nowhere to be found there. Ain't goalie going to get it back going there. Back up for this P2 spot. Right there trying to hold on. Now same spot again. They'll keep it cordial here. We're going to look almost 3 wide into turn 3. 58 is trying to hold on here. The 29 trying to take it away. Them racing side by sides allowed the 11 to get away and get away quick. It's still side by side for this P2 spot. Prather is not going to go easy Carmelo Echeverria going to be 3 wide down here in the turn 1. That's not going to work. 29 finally takes the spot. Here comes Kedorian on the top. Everybody's super slidey out of turn 2 there. Kedorian a 2-for-1 move there. Is, oh my gosh, almost 3 wide here in the turn 3s. They are 3 wide. Gonna have to sort this out and sort it out quick there. 33 of Duckworth up in the outside wall. I just think there's a little bit of a bottleneck. I just think Prather with older tires just a little bit slower than everybody else on the pressure. The 3. Tyler Helms around. Happened to Tyler Helms. Oh man, just got into the left rear quarter of the 31. Man, a lot of damage to the 31 right there. Man, that's terrible. For the 3 machine. Still some hard racing up here. Wyatt Thompson trying to drive his way back through the field. Gonna get around the 31. The 31, Jackson Brown loose out of turn 4. Turn 4 has been an issue all race long. Got another one there. 31 able to save it, but lots of track position, lots of time there. Wyatt Thompson trying to drive his way back up through, but look at this. Max Ford, 4.5 second lead on the rest of the field here. Nicholas Road finally gets around, and that's honestly, I think that's just because Prather trying to hold on there, kind of held everybody back up. 11 got shot out of a rocket there, and he's just been running, you know, actual laps here versus everybody else who was trying to just navigate around 58 there. And now it's going to be Nicholas Road and Dorian Davis as he's thinking here. I think Kendorian's back. He'll take over that P3 position. And Echeverria, what a comeback here. Up 9 spots from where he started. He's up in the outside wall, though. Can't be doing that a whole lot more. But up here inside the top 5. Wyatt Thompson is driven his way back up inside the top 5 as well. After getting caught up in, what, the last 3 cautions? So not only that, he still has his pass repair, so now this is the part of the race that we saw early in the race here. Obviously, the leader didn't have almost a 5-second gap, but kind of what we saw that first 14-lap run where everybody was kind of single file trying to figure out where they need to be. And we just kind of ran clean for a little bit now. Right now, this is at least 21 laps on this stint of tires. Is a good sign. Ooh, 81 super loose out of 4 there. Keeps it going though. Right on board with Echeverria here. Oh, the 29 up in the outside wall there. And a lot of 87 to get a run in the 3 or 4. Have to be so disciplined every lap. Keep this car going forward and at a decent rate of speed. And you see one wall tap there out of the 29, he lost a spot. Now with the updated horsepower, I mean, you really have to baby this thing now. Remember, not only that, these guys are running, you know, a custom set every week. We're not running the 8 fix set. Oh, really loose again out of 4. But after that, you can't go and just run a couple laps in A-Fix or something, or take the notes from NIS that we had back a couple weeks ago from Darlington, right? You can't take those notes and then bring them into this race because it's a completely different setup. For the 77 and why Thompson gets around, we're on board with Echeverria. Still being able to latch onto the back of the 87 machine, gonna make a dive here into turn 1 and 2. It might be a little bit quicker, but made that mistake. Super hard to pass here at Darlington, unless the guy in front does make a mistake, right? That's how the Dorian got around. Oh wow, super loose out of the 29 machine. Developer them back. Duckworth taking a move on Echeverria. Echeverria dropping through the field. And I praised him for how well he was running, but I think maybe used up his tires a little bit too much. Or maybe he's trying to save some tires. You never know, so. See a lot of guys here in this cup car. They'll go through and they will let people go, especially at these style of tracks at Darlington, because they know how much this track eats up the tires. So you go, I'll get you later, right? I'm gonna baby this thing for a little bit and hope that you burn your stuff off it, and then I'll catch back up. But it looks like that's not gonna happen for that number 81. It looks like he's not liking the way this car is handling right now. You see him pushing up to the outside wall almost every time here in the 1 and 2. Roddy having some issues back here. He's going to get ran down by 33. He's going to have a run here in the top, going to try to arc it down. But she's doing a good job. About this aero block, you're putting that dirty air on back onto the 33. I feel like this is one of the only tracks though that obviously dirty air does affect a little bit. I feel like this is the one track where you can kind of put your car in the spot where you can navigate the dirty air a little bit better. Already having a couple of better quarters. He's actually pulls away a little bit from that 33 machine. The 33 actually has got 55 and that 81 giving him pressure back there. Going up back to the race lead, almost a 7 second gap up here. Back to up to Max Ford. Max Ford has someone very important to this championship fight up ahead there. That is the 3 of Tyler Helms. Remember, has a lot of damage from the contact between him and Jackson Brown. Tyler just trying to limp this thing around for the time being. He's getting caught at a rapid pace here. Tyler Helms' last lap time, 30.4, 29.8 for Max Ford there, so 8/10 of a lap quicker. Got that dirty air now. He got within kind of half-second lead. A little bit more difficult for him to get back up to the 3 machine. All he's got to do what he's got to do to stay on the lead lap, so. Max is good. Good wheel to the left. Gonna try to get underneath the 3, going in the 3 and 4 here. Holmes gonna have to try to fight hard on the top, but not really anything he can do. He'll go a lap down. He is the first car a lap down, so not over for Tyler yet. Max has about got a ways to go before he gets up to next lap car. Nicholas Rowe having an issue. Really knocked the wall down here out of turn 4. Caution. Maybe Hayden Goalie. Like he had an issue here. Out of turn 2. Outside wall, down the track, couple corrects. That's 2 self spins out of the 15. I'm unsure if that was what the caution was for, but that's the only correct we could find. So that's exactly what Max Ford did not want to see. And we ran, what, 38 laps on that stint? We definitely could have gone a good, probably 10-ish laps, probably, maybe. Once again, 80% fuel. I'm unsure what 100% fuel is, so I can't really do the calculations in my own head. Max Ford, EOL. Did he speed? Max Ford might have sped down Fair Road. That's a heartbreaker right there. Well, with all that said and done, Max Ford gonna have to start back there. Looks like P10 around that park. So gonna be Christian Girardi, Maya Thompson that front row. Colby Duckworth, Carmelo Echeverria back up here inside the top 4. I think those 4 fresh Goodyear tires are exactly what that 81 needed. Ball has come back into the 77 score. Gonna lead us back to green. He'll get the jump that he probably needs. Race lead.
back in the restart zone. One more time. The 77, the 99, back into the restart zone to start lap 76. Good jump by Cerati. Side by side through 1 and 2. Cerati contact. Now we're going to be side by side for P2. Christian trying to hold on tight for that P2 spot. He'll run that top side really well, keep the P2 position. Thompson gets a little bit out in front now, though. Meanwhile, Max Ford trying to get back up to the front. I'm already up to P6. Ran 2 laps. He's up 4 spots where he started back there. P10 on that restart. I'm going to be stuck behind the 55 goalie. Oh, both in the outside wall. All 3. 29, 11, and 55 up at the outside wall. 99, 29 still up there on the wall. Evan might try to make a move here in the 1 and 2. Can't get back to the 55 yet. Outside wall, that's not going to help. I like the aggressiveness of 11, but you see that little, you got in the gas to try to get to his quarter. That's what burned your stuff out. Just getting into it a little bit, just to try to inch closer, right? You can't do that because look, you had to lift out of the quarter there. Allow the 55 to get out a little bit more on front. You gotta be patient. Take the feet, take the inches where they give it to you. Right there, way better corner, way better corner. Is he gonna go outside of the 55, down the front stretch? Bully will give him the spot. That's exactly what you want to do. Corner before that, the lap before that, in 3 and 4, you heard him getting the gas. Then have to back out of it, trying to just get to the quarter panel, I feel like. That time he was patient. Just rolled back into the throttle. The 55 got loose in front, allowed him to get to the outside. That's how you want to do it. We'll see if this 11 machine can try to drive his way back through the field. Back up inside the top 5. Has to get back to the 33 of Colby Duckworth. Duckworth having a good recovery run. Still has a little bit of damage on that right side. You know, as well as probably half the field, honestly, with how easy it is to knock the wall down here out of 2. Duckworth with a good recovery run. Girardi about 4/10 back behind the race leader of Wyatt Thompson. It's just slowly trying to creep away just a little bit, right? It was 3/10 a little while ago. Now it's up to 4. Little gains. That's what's going to get him in here. Last lap, 29.6.1. This is a 6.3 for Girardi, right? He's just inching away. That 77 is. He's not pulling tenths away. He's, you know, hundredths away every lap. Last lap, 55 flat, 55.5, right? 500ths off. Ferrari. He's right there still. I mean, that's that car right there in front. They half a second ahead. Get a lap car. 78 of Brasser. 77 gonna have to navigate around him with the dirty air. Like Brasser's just gonna get out of the way. Really smart thing to do there. Very selfless. Of Brasser to do. Just he knows he does not have the car right out. Get out of the way. Let the leaders race it out. Cabrera back there, Max Ford trying to run down to 33 now. Colby Duckworth got a fearful. Colby Duckworth just gives him the spot. That's another smart thing out of Colby, you know. Colby trying to keep the car clean, trying to, remember, he's trying to race, I believe, his way into the chase right now. 5 points above the cutoff. Cannot afford get caught up in a wreck, racing to 11 for, you know, 4th place. Colby comes in 5 points above. Max comes in 4 points above, right? Tyler Holmes, not the race he wanted after contact with the 31. He's going to drop a lot in points here. And Dorian Davis. Right now, he's running back here in 10th, right? Not the race I think Dorian expected to have. So those are 2 drivers in front of them. In points that are behind them in the race. Joseph Enright back here in P12. Joseph Enright came in here 12 points above the cutoff. The Ford and Duckworth can sit back there and get this top 5 finished. It's going to really cut into the gap there. Echeverria and Thompson, I would say, are the only guys that are doing a good job keeping the track position, keeping the cars clean, right? Echeverria came in 10 points above. He's sitting back up here in 3rd. Starting to get ran down by Max Ford, but that's fine. You know, if I'm Echeverria, if Max is faster, pull over, get out of the way, right? Do not put yourself in a spot to get tore up here. With, 43 to go, right? Across the line. Yeah, if that 11 is faster, just let him go, right? That's 1 point. That 1 point is not going to hurt you that much. So, and obviously Wyatt Thompson leading now. He's still got just about half a second gap. But Max Ford is coming, right? He's only just over a 10th. Just over a second back, right? Now, I don't know if Wyatt's saving a little bit of stuff or what, but and he'll start to go. Maybe if Max can get in the P2. If I'm Wyatt, I think that's what he might be doing. He's just trying to manage a gap here, right? He hasn't really started to get away here quite yet. Been around the 5, 6, 10th of a second gap lead here. Back to the 99 of Zerati. I don't mind that. This is how I race when I race a car, right? If I'm on the lead, I try to just maintain a gap. I don't try to just get away as fast as I can because that's how you burn your tires off, right? And then I hate to burn myself up and try to play defense and try to, like, hope that I can keep the cars behind me, right? I want to manage the gap, and when I feel like it's time to go, that's when you pull out. You start to, you know, gap up, you know, a second and a half, 2 seconds when you force the guys behind to burn your stuff off, right? And then when you've saved your stuff, when they've, you know, maybe gotten up to a half a second again, that's when you start to push, you know, within, you know, that 20, 25 lap cushion there of saving. Force the guys behind you to burn your stuff off. And then when they have, that's when you push, right? That's when you start to get away. That's how you win these races. That's how you manage races. And I think that's what Wyatt's doing right now. We just hit that lap, 20 laps on this stint. Right now, I just talked about him being just half a second. Now he's over a second back to Zerati. Max forward back up in a P3. He got around the 81 of Echeverria. Gonna try to run down this 99 of Christian Zarate. What a drive by Max Ford to get back up in the field. No, got the UL for something on pit road. Just methodically driven his way back up to the field. Here comes the 99. He got a huge run on Zarate. He got super loose on the floor. Zarate's just going to give him the spot as well. Max forward up inside the P2 position. A wreck down here on the bottom. Who is that? Might have been Jackson Brown. Aiden Golia said might have crashed as well. He's limping this car back down the pit road once again. Issues out of turn 2 for the 15. Once again, there's probably race-ending damage here for Hayden. You know, and you gotta feel bad, right, for the kid, because this is a hard track, right? He said looking into the playoffs, this was what he might have had circled, but not the night I think that Hayden wanted. But remember, got that podium last week from Atlanta, hoping to build on that momentum, but Hayden just not the race I think he wanted. But no, good for him for sticking it out here. 39 laps down, coming back out on track, trying to just finish this out. And that kid will get better, right? He will get better with time, right? And you know, when to stick it out, and just time in the sim. Doesn't matter how you're spending it. Time in the sim, you will get quicker. You will figure out the cars. You will figure out how the sim likes you to drive the cars, right? And I think that's the big thing when it comes to being on the sim, on iRacing. Not figuring out how the car drives. It's figuring out how the sim, how the physics are in general, right? And then when you can figure out how the physics and stuff work in the simulator, that's when you can start to lock in on like how to drive the car and how to adapt the cars to drive better. Because even though they call iRacing a simulator, and it's a great simulator, I'll give them that. You know, I'm grateful for the opportunities the sim has given me, real life opportunities, and just opportunities just to call races here tonight, like I am tonight. But it's not one-to-one in real life, right? They're trying their best to adapt the car, to drive it as realistic as it can be, but it's not one-to-one. You've seen, like, you know, Cup champions like Kevin Harvick struggle on iRacing. Remember, you look back 2020 during the COVID era, where they had all the Cup drivers come on and get on iRacing, and they did the Pro Invitationals and stuff like that. Jimmy Johnson, 7-time champion. Nowhere near competitive. Kevin Harvick, not competitive. Brad Keselowski, out to dinner, right? And these guys are proven champions. Look at Kyle Busch or something like that, right? Not the best on the sim, right? But these guys are proven champions, proven, you know, Hall of Famers. You know, first ballot Hall of Famers when they become eligible, right? There are some caveats, right? You look at Denny Hamlin, he was really quick, but he came up through sim racing. You know, he came up driving in our 2003, you know, with Dale Jr., Martin Truex, all those guys, right? They were sim racers early before they were drivers. A lot of those guys, right? But outside of those guys, right? I mean, you know, it's hard to put 2 and 2 together. But going back to Hayden, once he gets to the sim, once he gets used to stuff, he'll get better quicker. And I'm excited to see how he grows to continue to get better here on the sim, because obviously he has potential. You saw him, at least, you know, he got good race awareness and race pace. Well, I wouldn't say race pace, but got good awareness of where to put his car. If he didn't, he wouldn't have been in P3. He wouldn't have driven through that wreck at Atlanta last week. So that's gonna be interesting to see how he grows and continues to improve on the simulator, right? But obviously, you gotta give a pat on the back to the 15. Sticking it out here, 39 laps down, trying to learn, right? That's all you could hope for. 20 to go. No, 30 to go now. Or Wyatt Thompson. Max Ford has cut that gap down back to half a second. Last lap, Max was just under a tenth quicker. Got 28 laps to do it. That's still quite a bit of time. He's only half a second back, so. Issue is here at Darlington. Darlington is the definition of it's one thing to catch, it's another to pass. And we know that Whitestock's just gonna pull over and let Max have this. I mean, at the end of the day, these guys are two playoff drivers racing to get into the championship. Obviously, Wyatt coming in here leading with 38 points above the cutoff. Max Ford coming here 4 points behind, right? So if Wyatt can put Max in a bad spot to knock a driver this quick out early, he's gonna do it, you know? I mean, that's just the way the playoffs work. You look at someone like Martin Truex Jr., remember? What was it? His second to last year, the Cup Series. He didn't win a race, but was, like third in regular season points. And he got knocked out of the playoffs. And you know why? It's because drivers put him in the spot to have to win. Put him in the spot to be aggressive, to make up spots, to get stuff done, right? And he just could never get in that opportunity to get up there and make the pass for the win, right? He led so many laps that season. Could never get it done. He got knocked out of the playoffs because of it, right? Because he couldn't win. Obviously, now that we are in the playoffs, it's a little bit different, right? It's also different because it's not winning you're in here in the playoffs. It's purely based off points here from round to round. Max Ford did not have the best Kansas last week. The best Atlanta last week. He got hooked at the outside wall. And he had some contact with the 15 goalie. Oh, man. 77, huge hit to the outside wall. That's going to allow 11 to catch really quickly here down the front stretch. Looks like that 11 has just so much more turn, 1 and 2. Than that at 77 does. It just looks like it just turns a lot better than why it can right now. Look at the corner that the 77 does here. Down, up. See the 11 actually turn down the track a little bit sooner than the 77 does. Off the quarter. Keeping it within 4 tenths. But once again, he's kind of in that spot now with the dirty air. Going to start to affect this car. He's going to have to move around to find the time to get back to the 7-7. I think that's why you see the 11 jumping up to the top. Trying to just get a good run down the front stretch, as he did. Huge run, as he's within under 2/10 of a second now. I don't know if maybe that was just because of the wall pop. I know in 3 and 4 you could kind of pop the wall and get a better run off of someone who's trying to keep it off the wall. If I'm race control, I'm going to tell the driver, the 11, I don't think he meant to do that. I told the 11, you can't continue to do that to make up time. If you're going to wall pop to gain an advantage, you're going to be penalized, right? And a couple of these tracks, you can benefit from doing that. You look at, like what 11 did right there. Got a lot of time from wall popping, getting it down off the corner, and driving it down. At Homestead, you can wall pop really the whole track and be, you know, almost a second faster a lap by just popping the wall. And obviously, you look at someone like Martinsville or something like that, where you can just literally, you know, Ross Chastain, you know, the Hale Mellon thing, and obviously that's gonna be a lot quicker. You can do that style of thing on a lot of tracks. You do it at New Hampshire, do it at Dover. Do it at Gateway. I don't think you can get away doing it here. The corner is too wide here. Remember, this is a 1.25 miles, so I think turn 3 and 4, it's way too wide. It's way too long for you to be able to wall pop and maintain the speed. So we saw Dalton 3 do it in Riley car. He didn't win the race by doing it, so. Saw Kyle Larson do the Cup car, I believe. No, that was also the Gen 6. Didn't get the win as well, so. I'll say this, it might be a hot take, but if Kyle Larson won that race there wall popping out of 3 and 4 to beat Denny Hamlin, that rule probably got outlawed that week there, back there. What was that, 2021 maybe? Had to be 21. That's the only time Larson was in the 5 in the Gen 6, so. What was that, the 21 Southern 500? If Larson wins that race, I think the wall popping rule gets outlawed before Chastain gets the opportunity to do his famous maneuver there at Martinsville to get himself into the Final 4, right? Oh, the 99! Girardi. Huge hit to the inside wall. Will they throw the caution for that? Yes, they will. Caution waves with 14 to go from Darlington. Wow. That changes everything. Right, just loose out of 4. We've seen almost everybody have an issue out of 4 where they're at least sliding that car around. Go back, just slides. Trying to catch the 87. I don't think there's a lot of damage in the 99 there, but yeah, man, that changes a lot. We'll see everybody come down pit road for sure. 48 laps on this stint. Our longest run this race. Now with 13 to go, do we see some strategy? Do we see some drivers take 2? Wyatt Thompson stays out. Max Ford is who leads us, everybody, down pit road. So Wyatt Thompson, Christian Zerati, comes down pit road. So Wyatt Thompson stays out. It's gonna be interesting. He's the only driver to stay out on these old tires. Max Ford with a huge mistake down pit road. I don't know what that was about. So he's gonna fall a lot of places down here in pit road. That might eliminate Max Ford's chances. I race for the win tonight. Girardi and Forward. Extended pit stops. And look who's up here in P2 now. Adrian Goalie will take over your P2 position. Wyatt Thompson, 50 lap old tires. I don't know. There's no possible way that this works out in his favor, unless we get caution after caution after caution. We use all three green white checkers up or something. I just don't see there's a way that he can hold on with 50 lap older tires. There's no feasible way. The only thing I can think of is maybe he doesn't have a tire set left. That's the only thing I can think of. See, I think we have something that says pit stop count, but I know he's been down pit. No, maybe he's been down pit road 4 times. We have 4 extra set of tires. He might have used all of his tires up. He might have used all of them up. Wyatt Thompson spins the tires before we even get going green here. Well, that's a recipe for disaster already. If he can't even get back to the green here before spinning the tires out, that's an issue. Wyatt Thompson will take it down pit road. Pit road's closed, I believe, isn't it not? If he's got, I mean, he's got some damage now on the right side, so we'll see if he takes a set. Oh, he does have a set. I don't know why you wouldn't pit, honestly. Well, he's gonna lose that track position now. We're starting back there in P11. He does have technically 2 lot fresher tires. Granted, I don't think that's gonna mean anything. He's gonna come back out of pit road here. They won the green. Everybody single filed back up. It's gonna be Gabriel goalie Colby Duckworth. Your front row. Nicholas Road. Jacob Bryant. Your fast forward. Pace car's gonna take the hard left off of turn 4. And we're going to have a 10-lap shootout here at Darlington as we get ready to go. 9 to go. Hey, Gabriel goalie back to green. As the 33 spins the tires, the 48 around. Caution will wave. 11 involved. The 87 of Kendorian Davis involved. 33 obviously involved. They see the 77 caught up in this. A lot of front end damage. Wow. Go back and look at the restart. It looks like the 33 and the 57 both spin their tires. 99 just trying to get out of the way. Hooks the 48 down the track. 11 gets some damage. The 87. What happens to the 77 here? How does Wyatt Thompson get damage in this? I mean, he didn't even make it back to the green in time. What is Wyatt doing here? I mean, you're backing it down right here. He went up the 5th. I don't understand. I don't understand. Well, caution's out once again. You see the sunset. The sun has started to set. You're getting the track lights on sooner or later here. But easier for you fans at home to see what's going on here at the Lady in Black. Should be 1 to green this time. Adrian, goalie, Nicholas Road, you're going to be your front four. Somehow the 48 of Jacob Bryant keep spots here, so he'll be lining up second on that inside row. Give the 57 of Joseph Enright this fast forward spot. And just like that, just like within a blink of an eye, the guys who are running up front are outside of the top 5. Tyler Holmes, out of anybody, is the guy who's furthest up front. It's going to be Tyler Holmes, Max Ford, White Thompson. Those three, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Back there, outside of the top 5 here with 6 to go. We'll be going to green here with a 5-lap shootout. Just like that. Pace car will take a hard left turn back on the pit road. We'll hand the race over to the 55. Gabriel Ngoli in a position to win his first race of this season, I believe. Back inside the restart zone. Gabriel Ngoli, 5 to go here from Darlington Raceway. A good jump out of the 55. A good jump out of the 48 as well. Jacob Bryan going to be side by side for the P2 position. Using up that 29. Still going to be side by side for P2. Wrecking in the back. Aiden Gooley once again. The 58 loose. Travis Prather. Caution will wave once again. Oh, the 95 going to tattoo the left front of that car. That might, yeah, that's the real damage. For Prather. Already used that fast repair. That's probably night over for Prather. Going into 3 and 4. It's the 57. Looks it down the track here. Here comes Jack Stanley. Man, I don't know if he knew that he was up there. We're right on board with the 95. Yeah, I don't know. I just think, I mean, he's ripping the wall here. Oh, he's loose as well. Jeez. See him up the track here. This is going into 1 and 2. Going into 3 and 4. Yeah, I mean, he's literally wall riding. It's hard to like turn off the wall there, so I don't really know if there's anything Jack could do. Just like wrong place, wrong time for both drivers involved. A caution will wave once again. Gabriel Ngoli looking more and more like your race favorite to take a win here, and potentially boost himself up into an actual contender here to race for a championship. Gabriel Ngoli came in here 4 points above the cutoff. I don't know how many stage points he got tonight, but he can win. I mean, what a way to scramble up this playoff field, right? So we will get in the NASCAR overtime, I believe, right here. No, maybe not. Looks like it will be a natural green-white checkered. No, we will go into NASCAR overtime. So this is overtime attempt number 1. I believe we get 3 overtime attempts here. Just confirming we do have 3 green white records tonight. So I thought that's how many we had. I wanted to make sure, but overtime attempt number 1. Gabriel goalie Nicholas Rowe, Jacob Bryant, Max Ford up here inside the top 4. So look out for that number 11 to make some moves here to get up here towards the front once again. But let's give me the 55 back to green here. Overtime racing from Darlington Raceway. Someone spinning the tires in the back again. Gonna keep it straight though. We'll stay green. Gabriel goalie through 1 and 2. Gonna get clear. Here comes the 48 of Jacob Bryant. He gets clear. Side by side back there for P4. Contact between Tyler Holmes, Max Ford. Now side by side for P2. Nicholas Rowe looking on the outside of Jacob Bryant. That's exactly what the 55 wants to see. Wrecking in the back. Max Ford. Does caution come out? No. We get the white flag here for Gabriel goalie. Gabriel goalie out of 1 and 2. 4.5 tenth lead back. Tyler Holmes making a move underneath for P2. Tyler Holmes going to try to use up the 29 for this P2 spot, but it doesn't matter. Coming out of 3 and 4. Go ahead and give it to him. Gabriel goalie, I think, is going to steal it from Darlington. It's going to give him the win on the standings here. Gabriel goalie wins it here from Darlington. He started blinking there at the end. That's why, and he slowed down when he started to blink. Wow, what a race. See this 55 burn it down here on the front stretch for you fans at home. This will definitely change up the point standings here tonight. Gabriel goalie last car in on points. Now he'll definitely bump up in front of some other guys. Max Ford had such a fast car tonight. He'll finish P10. Still a decent finish. But, you know, obviously got right there on the last lap. This Road holds on for P2. Tyler Holmes continues that hot streak of podium finishes. But it goes to the 55 of goalie tonight. What a race. What a strategy call. What a way to keep that car clean. We talked about it in the pre-race. This will be an endurance race. We saw it tonight. Gabriel might not have been the fastest car tonight, but had the cleanest car at the end and was able to take the lead, take the advantage here when it counted the most. He's going to burn it down here on the front stretch for you fans. Take a look. Look how many laps led he had tonight. All right. Get a 55 down there, parked down on the start finish line. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We'll start your post race show here from Darlington Raceway. We'll talk to your top 3 finishers and get ready to call it a night here from Darlington. But congratulations to Gabriel. We'll be right back on the other side of this ad break.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
As we welcome you back here to the Pro Show, here for the Prestige Cup Series playoff race number 2 here from Darlington Raceway, and what a way to end it. Gabriel Goalie gets his first win of the season, and what a way to do it. Go ahead and talk to the number 55 here of Goalie up here in the HVTV booth here to see what his thoughts of this was. Hey, Gabriel, is Christian up here in the HVTV booth? You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, congratulations. What a barn burner of a finish there. You have to hold off the rest of the pack there, but walk us through your race. Walk us through what got you up here in the victory lane tonight.
Qualifying, not really. Last season, I racked out because I decided to T-bone the pit wall, so I came into this race thinking I'm just going to finish it and get the stage points and just get good position. And when we made it to the stage, I was happy with the performance, and so far doing better. And after that, I was just pretty much riding around like lap 110. I just started saving fuel. Like I was letting off all the way through 3 and 4 and clutching it in and all that stuff. And then the caution came out, and that's what really saved me because I was still short by a lap.
Obviously, you look at the way this race ran tonight. Obviously, you were a solid top 5, top 10 driver, but at the end there, I felt like, and I've talked about it all race long, it was kind of an endurance race, keeping the car clean, keeping the car on track. And obviously, we had the leaders wreck a bunch of times tonight. You were just able to, squeak through, take the lead when it mattered the most. Do you think that's really what was the gain/loss of you coming home tonight here in Victory Lane?
Yeah, this is a very difficult track to conquer with how it races and how you have to pass people, and no one really wants to give you space because the top slide in turn 1 and 2 are the best, and then turn 3 and 4 it's all bottom or middle and maybe top. So it's just a really big endurance track, and to keep the car off the wall and to keep it nice and clean and don't use up your tires and manage fuel. It's all an endurance racetrack.
Coming into tonight's race, you were 4 points above the cutoff line. Obviously, coming home with the win tonight, that's probably going to bump you up above Max Ford, Colby Duckworth, maybe even Echeverria, and maybe even Enright. You'll at least be up inside the top 5 in points. What does this mean when it comes to looking into racing your way into a championship run there coming into Kansas?
Well, now knowing Kansas is the next race, that gives me a little hope because I've done a few races there with other leagues, and I've gotten solid top 3s, top 5s. So it just gives me more hope that I could make it to the final 4 in the championship and go for another time to hopefully finish better than second in the championship.
Obviously, a good run for you last season. But obviously, Ken getting the championship last year. But you coming home victorious tonight, definitely gonna help you jump up in the points. You came in here, the last driver in 4 points up, but definitely gonna help you jump up here now, especially with some of the drivers that you're racing against not having the best night comparatively to you. But once again, Gabriel, congratulations on the win tonight, first win of the season. Before I let you go, I'm gonna lay the floor over to you to, thank anybody, any sponsors, fans, friends, family, anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's win here from Darlington.
I want to thank TDI Towing and Buzzing Barbershop, my family for helping me get all this stuff and all the time we spend doing real racing, and I want to thank myself for all the hours I spent on this paint scheme and not to let it go to waste. And it was just everybody watching. This is a really big thing for me, and really happy it happened.
And before I let you go one last time, I did want to bring up that paint scheme. Obviously, throwback night here for PRS. Was there an inspiration behind the scheme you made tonight with that? It looked like a Chevy Mustang esque looking car.
So this was meant to be the 1966 Ken Miles second place finish for GT40, and the amount of stripes I had to make for this was honestly painful, because all the circles and the stripes, all those pinstripes are different graphics, and then the two red like teardrops going across the top, that's all like 5 different shapes, and I just thought it would be fitting for Darlington throwback night. So decided to do that.
A really nice looking car, and obviously even better sitting up here in victory lane. But congratulations, Gabriel. We appreciate your time up here in HVTV booth, and wish you good luck in the Kansas as you continue your journey to potentially race for your first championship here in PRS.
All right, thank you.
Gabriel, goalie in the 55, comes home victorious tonight from Darlington, and what a way to win tonight. Obviously, like you said, wasn't the fastest car tonight, but was there in the right spots to get it done there at the right time, right? Let's go ahead and talk to your second place driver, Nicholas. You're on the 29 up here in the HVTV booth as we have him down here in Nicholas Road. It's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got me?
Hello.
Well, P2 finish for you tonight, and honestly, I think that really kind of shows how strong you were tonight. Throughout the whole race, I felt like I saw you up inside the top 5 throughout the whole race. Obviously, some pit strategy stuff because you were lowest to 12th, but I would say you were around, that 3rd to 5th all race. But coming home P2, obviously a little bit of a carnage at the end there. Walk us through your race. Walk us through what got you up here into this podium position.
Well, yeah, it was really bad at the end. Really bad. Caution vest. But I really didn't do anything. I just kind of just stayed up like with the leaders as best as I could, and then the car wouldn't turn. I'd go in the wall. I'd fall all the way back, and then you can't pass at Darlington, so I was kind of just stuck in a hole until some nicely timed cautions, and I eventually got my way back up. And I was really lucky with all the pileups at the very end.
Obviously, a pretty chaotic race tonight, and I don't really get to talk like this a lot at Darlington, but walk us through kind of the mindset. Obviously, a lot of caution. What was it like trying to get just through all the wrecks and especially on the restarts? It seemed like that was the big caveat tonight, was these restarts, people spinning the tires, people being a little bit too to try to pass there in the turn 2. What was it like just trying to navigate through all that tonight?
Well, I mainly just focused on not spinning my tires as much as like people were, and I would if someone was on my inside, I would kind of back out, and then if I wouldn't, I'd hit the wall and I'd wreck and all that. So yeah.
On these restarts, obviously you guys are sometimes going into turn 1 and 2 side by side. Obviously, I know why you can't do that, but maybe walk us through to the fans at home, maybe
why it's safer to maybe back out at a turn two instead of trying to race for the spot out of turn two, and why it's maybe a little bit safer to back out and try to get him back later.
Well, because you just won't turn. You'll hit the wall. You might bounce back into them, or you'll get wheel damage, and then that'll just ruin your whole race. Or it'll ruin the guy next to you and everyone behind you too, depending on how bad the wreck is and all that. So if you just wait and pass him in the next set of turns, then you'll get away with it.
You put a good way of saying that, but coming home P2 tonight, obviously, coming in to Darlington tonight, 4 points out of the cutoff line. Coming home coming home second place. I believe you had pretty decent stage points as well in stage one. Should probably put you at least closer to the cutoff, and if not, probably above the cutoff. So walk us through, Kansas next week. Obviously, another 1.5 mile track, which we've seen you be pretty good at. What's the mindset going into Kansas as it's the cutoff race for the round of 12?
Well, obviously survive, and then hopefully just finish well and score some good stage points and whatnot, and give myself a bigger buffer to the cutoff.
Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see where you end up in points after the points come out here. But I believe you should be above the cutoff here with how some of these drivers came home tonight. But also, the person who you're fighting for on the cutoff, Gabriel, is one spot ahead of you. He won tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see how that all shakes up. But still, a really good run for you and this whole 29 team coming home P2, Nicholas. But before we let you go, anybody you want to thank for tonight's finish? Any friends, family, sponsors, shout outs, anything you'd like to thank for tonight?
I want to thank Colby Duckworth and Duck Motorsports for, giving me this ride and letting me race in Prestige.
Definitely agree without the team owners here, but once again, we appreciate your time up here in the HVTV booth, Nicholas, and wish you good luck into Kansas, and hopefully you can continue to try to point your way inside of this, playoffs here. And like I said, we wish you good luck there in Kansas next week.
Thank you.
Nicholas Road will come home P2, and let's go ahead and talk to Tyler Helms as he gets another podium finish here, DRS Cup Series.
Good.
Tyler, it's Christian up here in the HV booth again. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, another podium finish for you in this three team. You talked about it. That was kind of the goal, was to continue to come out here and knock out podiums. You did it once again here, Darlington, but definitely had to work for it. Put yourself in a bad spot, through the midway, went a lap down, got the lucky dog, and drove your way back up inside the top three. Walk us through your race. Walk us through what it took to get you up here into another podium spot.
It just took a lot of, dedication. I went to the back, got damaged. Of course, got tight, and it was either me get hit by him into the outside wall or me parade sticks, and I got the marbles, got myself wheel damage. And I'm like, oh, I got the stage break. I'm just going to take as much damage as I can. Maybe they'll wreck a couple times. And then got lucky with the wreck. When I got the lucky dog, went a lap down again. Took more damage. Then they wrecked again. Finally got the lucky dog. And then we started to move our way through the field. And we were going to get to second and probably close in on Max a pretty good amount, I felt. And, well, when we got to like 6, everybody decided to start being stupid. And then Jackson got tight. I didn't think he was going to hit the wall, and he hit the wall and somehow hit his left rear, and it spun my car around, which just, from a physics standpoint, doesn't make sense to me. Gave myself front end damage. Whenever we got the next yellow, I figured, oh yeah, okay, so it's just front end damage. I'll be okay. And we went another lap down. Then we got the yellow. Figured, okay, yeah, front end damage. It should be okay. And it'd be like 30 seconds, and it was like 1:40. So I didn't have time to take that. And we had it to the point where we get on fuel, probably going to get like a 7th place finish. Then we got a lucky yellow, took our fast repair, and was like, screw it, we're just going to go. They wrecked off the start. And, we found ourselves in 5th on the final restart, and just, it's Darlington for you. Can't pass. So they wrecked at the back when we were in 3. If we were able to get that last yellow out, I 100% would have won the race, no doubt about it. Would have restarted in 3rd, but I guess third's good. I definitely didn't get to show the speed that I wanted to show today, but I don't know. Setup was, I don't want to bash the setup at all, but it the track, Darlington's already a tight track where you need to have rotation. And when you have a tight car and you're never going to have rotation in dirty air, you got to be able to have a car that can maneuver with dirty air and actually be able to make passes, and you just did not have that at all. I mean, you could pass people that were slower than you, but whenever you had people like if me, Max, and Wyatt all battled each other, I mean, those are just gonna be whoever was in front of everybody. So, well, back in the top three, and I guess I don't even know what's next week. What even is next week? Kansas. I'm gonna take our momentum to Kansas, I guess, and see what we can go do there. Starting to get kind of tired about how bad the racing's been. It's either obviously the setups aren't what we want it to be for everybody, and somehow we're getting worse and worse with the racing. As you would think, racing around each other, you'd build chemistry and it get better and better. But I don't know. Next week's gonna be another Aero style track at Kansas, which sucks. But we'll move on to Kansas, and I think we're pretty much locked in the next round, so I guess we'll just go all out for a win and see what we can go do from there.
Wyatt coming on spots. I'm unsure how stage points work out, but you guys should be pretty neck and neck going into Kansas when it comes to points. But obviously, like you said, you and Wyatt should be pretty much locked into the next round. And as long as like 40 guys don't show up, which no offense, I don't see that happening. So, but another good run for you in this whole 3-team, Tyler. So, I mean, I'm not surprised to say it, but congratulations on another podium spot. But before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, I gotta thank Precision Speed Solutions and Precision Setup.gg. If you want the best setups on iRacing, go over there. We've been very, very quick the last few weeks. Use code TH10 at checkout, give me some money. I gotta thank my teammates, Kobe Duckworth, Jackson Brown, Nicholas Road. You gotta thank Kobe as well for the beautiful Kirsten Chili's Dale Senior throwback he made me with the Precision logos on it. It's absolutely beautiful car, and just gotta thank my teammates for helping me out through the race all season as well, and you for broadcasting. And not definitely not a happy P3, I'll be honest, but we'll regroup, we'll move on to Kansas, see if we can finally go win. I haven't won in so long, so I want to win again. It's been, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's been 6 races since we won, and we won 3 of the first 6. So it's been a while since we won, so we're gonna try to go win next week, and maybe finally I won't be washed.
We'll just have to see Kansas, but we wish you good luck into Kansas as we round out the round of 12 next week. But good luck next week, and we look to talk to you again up here in the booth.
Yeah, thank you.
Tyler Helms comes home P3, and yeah. I mean, I never really thought of it that way. Tyler Helms came on strong, towards the beginning of the season. They slowly fade away, but obviously he comes in here. Him and Wyatt are gonna go into Kansas pretty close. The only thing that's gonna decide who comes out on top for Kansas is going to be based off of stage points, because Wyatt came in 3 points above Tyler. Tyler finished 3 places ahead of Wyatt. So outside of stage points, they will go in tied. And then obviously how many stage points whoever driver gets is going to be on top. So I wish I could have a way to look at stage points throughout the race, but ATVO just doesn't, at least on my end, and for Andrew Schulte, our ticker guy, to have a way to really show placed in stage. So it's gonna be interesting to see how things go into Kansas. Obviously our home track here for HVTV, so I'm excited to see how the racing is. But it's also exciting because we round the round of 12 out to start the round of 8 after Kansas. So it's gonna be a big race for a lot of these PRS drivers. Jackson Brown gonna have to go in there and have a fantastic run. Jacob Bryant comes home P4, so that's gonna be a big bump up to hopefully get him inside some things. Peter Hoppy, probably a must-win situation for him to at least get him inside the cutoff. There's no winning or in anymore, but he has to win, get the most amount of stage points to get himself in a spot to maybe even be around the cutoff line. So, but go ahead and take a look at your unofficial race results for tonight from Darlington Raceway. The Gabriel Ngoli comes home race winner, his first win of the season. Congratulations to him. Nicholas Rowe, Tyler Helms, we talked to those two as well, coming home second and third, rounding out your podium. Jacob Bryant with the P4 finish. Really, really good run for him to try to move his way up through the points here. It's going to say out on everything else. I do believe it's because Gabriel Ngoli was blinking towards the line, so it just really messed up timing. But, yeah. Carmelo Ecavera back there in P5. That should really help him at least maintain that 5th place points spot. Wyatt Thompson P6. Christian Zarate P7. Joseph Enright P8. Travis Prather P9. And rounding out the top 10, Max Ford in that number 11 machine. Had such a fast car. Not going to get the finish I think he... Right. Davis back there in P11. Not the finish he needs. Right, he came in 18 points above the cutoff, but that's definitely gonna hurt. John Brassard, P12, Jack Stanley, Colby Duckworth, Peter Hoppy, Hayden Goley, Jackson Brown, out early tonight from Darlington. But yeah, what a race! What a way to end Darlington up. Having Gabriel Ngoli, kind of a Cinderella story, coming in here to 8th seed, coming into tonight's race, coming home with the win tonight by due to some cautions and some lucky cautions that give Gabriel the ability to lead us back to green for those last couple of green-white checkered finishes. But still, congratulations to Gabriel and for that whole team. That's definitely going to bump them up a couple spots in the points, I believe. So it'll be interesting to see how the points shake out going into Kansas. So, but I think it's time to call the night here from Darlington Raceway. Lady in Black, the track too tough to tame. Obviously, we saw it tonight. Very, very difficult racetrack for these drivers tonight. But once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race here for week 12 of the PRS playoffs. I had such a blast calling tonight's race. Obviously, the cautions were getting a little tiring, but that's just part of Darlington. You have to come in here expecting there to be some cautions with how difficult this track is. So, but once again, I hope everybody has a great rest of your Thursday. If you guys are looking for anything HVTV related, whether you wanting us to broadcast a race, whether you want to join the HVTV crew, come up here and help me up in the commentary booth. And call a couple races, right? We just signed Riley Maxwell to the HVTV family. And he's going to be do some races actually here on Thursdays for the PRS Cup Series. I was also offered some endeavors to do some other stuff to further advance my career here. For my commentary side of things, so we'll have Riley up here, producing and calling some races up here, from time to time. But if you guys are looking to do that, if you guys are looking to produce here, if you're a little bit shy and don't really feel like talking or doing stuff, you're gonna come up here and be a producer here for HVTV. We do pay our producers a little bit more than our commentators because without producers, we don't have a broadcast tonight. But also, if you are an up and coming young graphic designer or just a graphic designer in general who wants to take their efforts into, the industry someday, we are open, allowing you guys to, practice, perfect your craft and to just get, some hands-on experience. Excuse me, working for a network. Granted, it's not, Big Fox or NBC or Prime or TNT or anything else like that, but it is a network. And you got to start somewhere, right? So if you're also looking to do that, we do have the Discord link down below in the description. Guys who wanted to join, even if you don't want to do that and you just want to be a part of a cool community of people, and we sit in there and watch the Cup race together, the Truck Series races together for the most part. On top of that, we have so much stuff we're doing now. We have a Minecraft server in the network as well. We also have, we do HVTV After Dark most Saturday nights, just trying to grow this community as big as we can. So if you guys do want anything network-wise, make sure to join the Discord down below. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. But if you're not a Discord person, you also can email us at hvtvbroadcasting@aol.com for any broadcasting needs. I try to check that like once a week, obviously. But obviously the best way to get a hold of me is Discord. But once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race. Congratulations to Gabriel Ngoli on his win tonight here from Darlington. We'll be back here next week at Kansas Speedway to round out to finish out the round of 12 here in the playoffs here for the PRS Cup Series. But again, we appreciate everybody coming out and watching tonight's race for this Thursday night. We'll be back on this Saturday for the ISF Cup Series as they go to Kansas Speedway as well for first round of the playoffs. So I hope everybody has a great rest of the night. And you have just watched the HVTV broadcast of the PRS Cup Series. Hope everybody has a great rest of the night. See you sooner.